Let's talk about the sound of Uranus. This planet is the one that I got hit with the strongest out of all of the planets. Like when I'm listening to the planets, it's the one that had the strongest opinion, and it had the I want to say like the clearest um, phrase, or like it's standing up for itself. Okay, standing up for itself. I'm going to tell you what it said, and then you'll get it. I would think that it would be Mars, because Mars is action. Mars is like, sometimes, Mars can be equated with anger, like all these things. But Uranus is the one that was like decided. So a lot of astrologers talk about Uranus, and they talk about it as like the unexpected and the surprise, and kind of in that way. And I remember when I very first listened to Uranus, it was like, I don't like that. I was like, oh, okay, then what are you saying? Why is this happening? Why do people experience this? And the response I heard back from Uranus was, unexpected things happen because I'm trying to support you in being your authentic self. And sometimes when things come together and like you just kind of like hit a wall, it's like Uranus is like, I just hit a wall. Then it's like, surprise, you can't hold back anymore. I can't hold back anymore. Uranus is saying, I can't hold back anymore. I want you to be true to yourself. And this is one of the ways that I'm going to do it. So Uranus isn't the unexpected, but unexpected things can happen in a way to help us be more authentic to ourselves. So, you guys know, like those cell phone towers, like big rod and then all the different panels around the side. That's what Uranus looks like to me. Like even the symbol of Uranus looks like that. It's like that panel, right? So as I've been listening to Uranus and asking what it's telling us and what it wants to tell us and how we can better connect with our Uranus, one of the things that I have heard so clearly is that Uranus is our authenticity. Uranus is our originality. Uranus is our technology. So, what the heck does it mean that Uranus is our technology? Because it does represent technology, right? Um, and it was so fascinating as I was listening to Uranus just last week, actually. Um, and what it means by technology. What does it mean that Uranus is technology, and our technology specifically? And I saw our body and the workings of like our soul, and it looked like a clock, and all the technology within us. And it really is, um, when it's direct and when it's retrograde, it's bringing us to a place to express that originality, to express our technology, to express the workings of who we are, which just makes me like it makes me so excited. So I'm going to be doing a video. It'll be coming up. It'll be understanding our magic, and that'll really be talking about the planets in retrograde and how that kind of sounds different, and understanding really what retrograde planets mean, and understanding the magic that is in us, because retrograde can be harder to connect to. It can be harder to connect to um, the power of retrograde planets, and so I'm excited to share that. So I do want to just like note here for a second that when a planet is direct and when a planet is retrograde, they will express a little bit differently. And so we get to be like really aware when Uranus is direct, you will like naturally be sharing your technology. You'll be naturally be sharing what you're really good at. So there will be also the lens that we see it through with the house that Uranus is sitting in. Like, what are you super good at? Like, super good at, um, like, where in your life are you really good at standing in your originality? Where in your life are you good at connecting to your authenticity and then really allowing that to flourish in that area and recognizing that it's flourishing in that area so then you can build on that and utilize it to the great to your greatest potential, right? And then of course there's the sign that it sits in and how um your sign is how your Uranus is expressing. So I'm just going to talk about it this really fast because mine is in retrograde, right? So retrograde, and it's in the fifth house. So this is it's in Scorpio in retrograde in the fifth house. And so how I've seen this expressing is it's super easy for me to see other people's original creativity and like their unique creativity. But because mine is in retrograde, it has been really hard for me to identify my creativity, which is hilarious because how many of you know a sound astrologer? How many know people that like listen to the planets or have interpretations of the planets quite like I do? How many of you know people that can hear if you're in your moon sign, right? Or not? Like what I do is very unique. It's very creative. It's taking information in and sorting it through like this creative way. Um, and so, but in retrograde and in Scorpio, it's super easy for me to see other people's creativity. It's easy for me to talk about and encourage other people's creativity because that's a part of my Uranus. That's just part of how it expresses. And it's actually really fantastic and very supportive to the work that I do. So Uranus is originality, Uranus is your information, Uranus is like you being original, you being you. Um, it's your authenticity. It's your like inner workings and how you work and how to like connect to like how to connect to your oh, what's the word I want to say? I just want to say magic, like how to connect with your magic best because our authenticity is our magic. So I have said in this video a couple of times Uranus being our information. Uh, and when Uranus is direct, like especially in taking into account where, like what house it's in, what sign it's in, then that's going to be like our preferred method of getting information out. It's our preferred method of connecting with our information, if that makes sense. So, someone, for example, who has Uranus in the first house, and we're talking direct, right? So this is information about themselves. This is information about their character. This is information about their body. And let's just say Uranus is in Taurus in the first house. It would be like, oh, it just feels, I'm just listening to it. It just feels so grounded and stable and um oh the thing that I'm hearing is like I know this is me and it's easy for me to share or is I wouldn't say share, but it's easier for me to be in my originality and to be stable in my originality, especially with it being in the first house. Now, Uranus in the second house would be like, this is how I do money. And this is just how it happens. Like we're talking direct, right? So Uranus direct is like, this is just how it works. This is how I work with money. This is how I work with my value. And oh, I'm just gonna have to do the understanding our magic video next because I'm so excited to talk about this upside down magic and connecting to it. So go watch that video next. But it really is like, this is how I do money. This is how I do communication. And it might be kind of like, because Aquarius, you know, Uranus rules Aquarius, right? And Aquarius is just like, I'm just going to show up and it's going to be like, it might seem weird. Um, but one of the things that I love so much about Aquarius is that Aquarius just owns their weirdness. There is something weird about all of us. Like everybody has a weird thing about them. And Aquarius is just like, I'm just going to accept all the weird about me. And Uranus is like, that's right, baby. You totally are because it's you being in your authenticity. It's you being willing to share the information about you so that you can then help encourage other people to share, especially those that have their Uranus in retrograde, encourages them to share their originality. So Uranus in the third house is like, I communicate it like with my words. I communicate authentically, and I value authentic communication, and it's going to it's going to show up a little bit differently depending on the sign that it's in, right? Or Uranus in the fourth house, like I feel comfortable and confident showing up as my authentic self at home. Fifth house, I feel confident sharing it in my creativity. Sixth house, just like that, like my daily schedule might not look like your daily schedule. And I love that about me, right? So, like moving through all the different houses, I would love to know, where is your Uranus? Where is your authenticity showing up in your life? What house is it in? And what sign it's sitting in? So comment that below, like and subscribe for more videos, and watch for understanding your magic. Okay, see you next time.